Like a lot of philosophies will have you believe that we choose our families. I really think that it's a lot more complicated than that, and that it's not like that at all. I think um, we have certain locations and frequencies, much like a GPS, when we come into this world, and wherever we land is how our life is programmed out. And that is the direction that we end up going in. And all the plans are then made for our life. Something like let's say you are born in Greenland and your life you need to end up being directed toward Brazil or something like that. And that is where you need to end up for your best outcome. Also, an alternative, like an okay outcome, would be you ending up in Panama. I am saying random places. I hope you know that. And your ideal outcome would be you ending up in Panama, right? And so your life is essentially you growing up and guiding you toward this direction, right? With all possible outcomes and things happening around you, this is where you need to end up. So that's what I mean, that I feel like spiritually, this is a lot more complicated, that your life is far more complicated, far more complex than, oh, I chose my mom, I was birthed through her. Like, no, not necessarily, but this is where you ended up, this is where you started, and now we all have to make, like your spirit team has to all make accommodations for what is happening and what direction your life needs to go in. So that being said, I feel like that's why a lot of people have these different lives that connect them in different ways, right? To this same place, Um, I also think that that makes far more sense, you know what I'm saying, than you having this choice and you making this choice, because a lot of people come to that like faux pas of, I why would I choose, like a person that is like that? Why would I choose that? If I saw it and I saw it happening, most people would avoid that, right? So why would I don't think anyone would choose that. I don't think anyone chose that. I think our growth is more dependent upon the location that we ended up in. Maybe you chose to be born on the earth, right? You saw all of the beauty, you saw that it was like rather peaceful at the time that you were viewing. You know what I'm saying? At the time that you were viewing it. Although time and dimensions warp everything, warp everything. So you might have known and you might have looked and been like, wow, that's the place that I want to be, but didn't realize that the time and dimension of you and of you being here when you actually got here was going to look a whole lot different. You being born here, what you were born as, all of these things look so different from what you initially thought was going to happen, right? So it's not such a matter of I chose this, that, and the third, but more so these are the circumstances that happen. These are the circumstances, right? This is the location, these are the circumstances, this is the end goal. These are the evolutions that we need to take. I'm seeing, like the energies that guide you are seeing where you need to end up and are slowly guiding you to where you need to be. And that's that's what I think. That's what I think is, it's just for me it's just far more like spiritually logical than, oh, I just like I chose to be tormented as soon as I got here. Like, no, you didn't. That is just something that happened when you got here. Not necessarily, and I'm not necessarily saying coincidence, right? Not a coincidence. The reality of the situation happened when you got here. The reality of the situation happened when you got here. Not a coincidence whatsoever. Cuz like let's be honest. If we were all energies, right? And we all had a choice to be able to see where, what, when we were going to be born, right? We would have all chose, you know what I'm saying? We would have all chose to be extremely abundant in resources off the bat, surrounded by the most wonderful people in like a great community. That's what we would have chose if it was a choice matter rather than a this is the location and now the energies around you have to create your outcome. And imagine having to create right? The outcome of life from literally scratch, from literally zero. Yeah, give them grace. So like give yourself compassion and give the energies that be for you grace. You know, give them energy some grace. Like they have to do this from zero, and you just so happen to land in a family where everybody is unwell. It's going to take you a bit longer. It's going to take you a bit longer to get where you need to go. Okay. And on top of that, they got to deal with whatever energy is around you. They got to sit there and deal with the energies going through you, you know, that are most likely to go through you, and then try to see how all of this is going to hopefully benefit you. Like, I got to say, that don't sound like something easy, you know? And all you are is basically an influencing energy. Like, give yourself some grace.